Ah. Well, this is what happens. I really should have put a ledge up there, maybe. But that's what happens anyway. I think that's quite outdated now. But we'll move on nonetheless. So yeah, 2 deaths in this map. This is more than I've died in any CTM in the training map. How ironic is that? Possibly because I'm playing a lot less cautious than I would normally. Farming resources. You make bone meal from bones. You can use bone meal to instantly grow plants. This can be amazingly helpful. Unfortunately, it's not, as of right now. It's kind of old-fashioned, but bone meal was actually changed in 1.5, so now it takes multiple bones to, well, multiple bone meal at least, to grow things like trees and seeds. So this is not really true anymore, unless Vechs decides to provide you with bone meal. But in a lot of his maps, you'll probably have a decent supply of bones from the very beginning anyway, so it's just a case of using multiple bone meal now over what it would be prior to that update. Got some oak wood in there. Getting wood, nice. You can make bone meal from bones. You can use bone meal to instantly grow plants. Oh yeah, I've read that one. That's to grab the bone meal and test it out. I don't have a bed on me right now. Coal ore eventually runs out, but did you know you can cook wood into coal using a furnace? If you have trees and a furnace, you can make an infinite charcoal, just like with the coal that you mined. Yes, this is true. This hasn't changed. But you can actually use this, and you can even just do it on wood. Say if you put some oak wood in there and made some planks out of it, you can actually... you can do this with wood, but planks are more effective with the materials that we have. And you can cook it up this way and get charcoal through that as well. And you can burn stuff like saplings, basically anything that's wood related, stuff like stairs, fences, or all those kind of things you can burn and make charcoal with, which you can then turn into torches or cook food. So that's something important to remember. Alternative lighting. Jack-o'-lanterns and glowstone are both useful light sources when working with water environments. This is true, and something I want to mention about jack-o'-lanterns, which is something I've only just learned, but something useful to remember with them, is that jack-o'-lanterns, while they're not explosion resistant, the difference between them and torches is that, say if you're in the nether and a ghast shoots at you and your torch would normally get blown up when the netherrack around it gets blown up, these jack-o'-lanterns will stay intact, so that's something to consider. If you have a pumpkin farm, this is more of a vanilla survival type thing, but if you have some pumpkins around and you're going to the nether, I would recommend bringing some along. And they also stand out more in terms of terrain as well, being a full block rather than just a simple torch. You can use flint and steel to set fire to netherrack. It burns forever and provides light and defense. Trick monsters into walking through the fire. If you play Inferno Mines, then you will know that using a flint and steel is actually the starting weapon. And this is something... Oh, you're a decked out skeleton. Wonderful. So we can actually try this, but basically you can actually light fires and let monsters walk through it. And that's what you're at least meant to do for the start of Inferno Mines. So this has actually been directly applied in a map. Come up here, Skelly. Can you even get up here? I don't believe so. That's no good, is it? See if I can start him on fire. There we go, look. So I put a fire on there. So he's now going to burn up in that fire. So is that zombie. So this is a good way of killing monsters if you don't have any other weapons. There we go, zombie. There we go, and there's some rotten meat down there as well. But that's something to do with flint and steel, and it also provides a light source, and with netherrack it is infinite, but it's also useful for temporary lighting arrangements on other materials. So lava buckets is this style's favourite thing. Dump lava into the hole. Lava is one of the most powerful things you can use. It provides flowing light and it destroys any nearby enemies. This is true. So we can dump lava into that hole. There we go, and what's going to happen now is it's going to spread out down here, killing that Skelly with the magic bow. Or maybe it's not. See if I can get him to come up here and we'll burn him with the flint and steel. I'm going to stand away from him. There's a creeper burning up down there. Come stand in that creeper. Oh, maybe not. Either way. That skelly magically teleported there. So they're going to have to walk through that lava. And they also shoot flaming arrows through this as well, so be careful of that. Goodness me. What am I doing in this map? I'm going to die, aren't I? Well, that's 3 deaths on the training map. Blimey. Is it bad that I died more on this map now than I did a year ago? And I knew nothing about CTM? Oh, this is terrible. This is really embarrassing, actually. My sort of... Look at that. Creeper up there. Well, at least he fell off. That's an advantage. So we did do this area, although there's that building that we've not yet investigated. I hope you're enjoying this if you see this, Vechs. Beaten 3 of your maps on hardcore, but can't do the training map. Wonderful. Give me that back. I didn't even get the flint and steel back. Now I've got to do... He's got it. Now I've got to deal with these zombies. Try and lure them into this. There we go. Use your advanced lighting techniques, sir. Oh, and of course he burnt my flint and steel, didn't he? Typical. Just typical. Never mind, I guess. Let's go and do this. Take a nap if you need to change it to daytime. Well, we do, so we'll take a nap. So I've been blown up by a creeper, I fell out of the world, and I've also been burnt to death. So... Look at that, all those creepers over there. So, yeah. Sunlight is another useful source of light. Reminder, disable peaceful. Just break open caves and let the sun shine in. Break the sandstone and fry the little monsters with this golden pickaxe. Nice, golden picks mine very fast. Not everything's going to burn up down there though. Because the spiders are still going to be in there. Well, that helps. Still a creeper in there. But yeah, that's another good way of doing it. Certainly some of Vechs's later cave maps, the roof is has bedrock on it, or it could be a long way to the roof, so it might not be a viable option. But it is in some maps. You can actually use that to your advantage if you so wish. Alright, so let's move on from here. And we came up to this point, which was long-term food solutions. Whilst pork chops are typically easy to get in a normal Minecraft map, it makes the game way too easy. Grass is rare on my maps, and therefore so are farm animals, so don't expect an easy infinite supply of pork and leather to make free armor out of. In some of his maps, Waking Up and Inferno Mines have mushrooms that you can actually get an infinite supply of leather and beef from, so this is not technically true anymore. But for some of the older maps, certainly, then this will apply. If you have wood, water and spiders, you have food. Craft a stick and string into a fishing pole and go fish. Yep, I'm not going to do that. That is incredibly boring, and I think everybody knows how to fish in this game, so just simply make your fishing rod and right-click and it'll cast in. The pool would actually need to be a little bit deeper, I think, to be reliable in that sense, but that's something that you can do. It depends, again, where water is. Some maps don't have any water, so this is not a viable option. Nightmare Realm, I don't think, apart from a tiny source block, has any sort of water in this amount, so it's not ideal to fish. But most maps do have this, which can be a great starting food supply. Mushrooms are great, but take a while to start farming. Wheat is good if you are in a hurry, especially if you have some bone meal to instantly grow them. So yeah, this is good because you can get this, and then you can get seeds, and then you can obviously grow them into wheat. You can't bone meal dirt, unfortunately. You can find seeds in tall grass, but the drop chances are not very good. 4 slots, 160 hearts, not nearly as much as mushrooms, but you don't have to mess with empty bowls on your hotbar. So yeah, you can make bread from this way. But obviously you can't bone meal dirt anymore, so you'd have to get some seeds out of the amount of tall grass that you have. But I noticed that Vechs is typically very generous with his tall grass, and he might leave a box around if the luck really does get to you, just with 2 seeds in it or something. And that's always an option as well. So mushroom farms, harvest row, harvest row. Mushrooms are a great food source. Although they grow slowly, you don't need water or soil. They provide compact healing. Did you know that with only 4 inventory slots of mushrooms can give you 320 hearts of healing, 2 stacks of mushrooms, the bowls and crafting bench? Well, to be honest, mushrooms have since kind of become a bit of a redundant food source, quite honestly, because nobody grows these things. These are a pain to grow. I've never managed to get it working right, but some people do use this still. But like I explained earlier, in most of Vechs's newer maps there are mushrooms provided, so you can just right click on them with a bowl and get an infinite food source that way. But let's read this anyway. To farm mushrooms you need a large area and then a lot of time to let them spread, but the end result is great. So mushrooms spread up to 1 block and 1 block up and 1 block down in height. Never harvest these spread to other rows. So this is like the kind of the small based farm here. Don't put light sources right beside your mushrooms. They like the shade. You don't want sunburn fungus. Yeah, that's true. Use light to keep monsters away, but not direct light. So you could use some light far away, like jack-o'-lanterns and that, maybe, and then put them behind bushes or something. But yeah, semi-automatic mushroom farm, common design. To get usable amounts of mushrooms, you need a large farm like this or even larger. There are many different farm designs you can use. This example is by no means perfect. Hopefully, though, it gives you some inspiration. So mushroom farms are a good idea to use, but a lot of people now use the giant mushrooms that were introduced in 1.9, and if you leave them in a dark enough area and you have dirt, then you can just bone meal these guys and make giant mushrooms, which can be quite handy. But some people do rely on this system still. It still works as far as I understand, and if you put water here you can collect them. Some people even automate this section of it. If you really wanted to, you could put a lever here with some pistons. But then again, getting access to redstone in maps might be quite challenging. So this is an ideal alternative if you want a decent mushroom farm and you can't grow any giant mushrooms. I've never actually used this. Reminder, monsters spawn at light level 7 or less. Mushrooms uproot at light level 12 or greater. Keep the floors of the farm around level 10 and you will be fine. Look at the lighting and the mushroom articles on the Minecraft wiki for more information. This farm uses water rapidly to harvest all the mushrooms from the harvest rows without harming the mushrooms in the source rows. So these are the source rows right here, and this is the harvest row. So I've never done this, but you might find use out of it. Whoops, let me collect that. So I hope that you grow your mushrooms, and you never know, you might find a map maker that likes to use mushrooms, and I'm sure he's a fun guy. Terrible jokes. So we've had 3 deaths, terrible jokes, and so much more in this at the minute. Alright, so what have we got left? I think we've just got this one right here to do, and that's the end of the map. So water training. You can use items to create air pockets underwater. Signs and doors work very well for this. You can plant torches to create brief air pockets. So yeah, let's go through this. I'll show these off. Let's just dump all this in here. I'll show you what signs do and what doors do underwater if you're not familiar. And there's even some demonstrations set up down here. So what you can do is you can dive underwater. Do I have any food? Should have grabbed some of those mushrooms. Let's just eat the zombie flesh, that'll do for right now. What you can do is you can dive underwater, and if you reach the bottom, or you can actually just pop down a door by right clicking, and you can stand in this door, and as you can see it creates an air pocket for you, and you can change direction by right clicking on the door. And then you can continue, say, maybe to these doors over here, like that. And you can also use signs if you have a wall. Right click, right click, and then stand here, and you get an air pocket from this sign. But bear in mind that there is still water here, so you're still going to be quite slowed down. Personally, the signs are great for where it's more like a cave type underground area, but doors are great for sort of flat surfaces, or if you're at the bottom of a lake or something. I find that doors could be the better option. Signs displace the water, creating air pockets to breathe in. So do open doors and torches temporarily. So yeah, torches do this temporarily. If you right click the torch with a torch, then you will create a brief air pocket which will reset your air meter there, but it only lasts for a second. And let's just show off what these jack-o'-lanterns and the glowstone can do. If you right click with one down, and I'm going to have to get in here to avoid taking drowning damage, you can set one down and it actually does give off light, similar with the glowstone, but obviously this is pretty well lit as it is, so it's kind of challenging to show you, but that's how they work. Okay, so that pretty much covers this, and we've got one more thing over here to do. Plant water elevators to climb up this cliff. You can do this with just a single water bucket. You can, but Vechs doesn't like to give out iron in his maps easily. Buckets are a powerful thing, so this has not really been used. Most people will use ladders because that's made out of wood, or vines if you're in a viney area. But so what you can do is, I'll demonstrate this, but you can climb up water flows like this, and you can reach the top like so, and then you can claim the source block and dump it a bit higher, and then climb into that like so. And this is just another way of climbing up cliffs. I wouldn't recommend it. This way could be very unreliable. At best, it's unreliable. Oops, I've dropped my source block. As you can see, it's not the best source, certainly. Try and get up to the top. Here we go, and we're up at the top of the world. Water is also great for safely lowering yourself. This is true. I will not deny this. This is very good for lowering yourself. But now I've messed up the flow, haven't I, right here? But yeah, that is a good way of doing that. Some people like to use gravel and sand as well, and some people use ladders. But yeah, that is the water training. And that pretty much concludes this map. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching me play through this map again. It's been a nice nostalgic return for me over a year on. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you have enjoyed listening to me talk about my experience on YouTube. End of version 1.1, newer versions will have more training areas checked back from time to time. So before I go, what I will say is I hope that obviously you've enjoyed watching me play through this map, enjoyed watching me die. But yeah, it's been a great year on YouTube, guys. Honestly, it's been a fantastic amount of time, and I've got to know so many different people from different communities, backgrounds, and so on. And I hope it continues long into the future. Unfortunately, I was looking for this footage from a year ago, but it seems that I've deleted it off my hard drive. But this is why I kind of did this Redux today, and I hope to see you in future videos. Obviously, as soon as I finish Jungle Terror, you'll start to see the Spellbound Cave stuff come out, and I've got plans beyond that because I'm quite far into Spellbound Caves now. Won't reveal too much yet, but yeah, that's something to look forward to. So I appreciate you watching this video, guys, and I appreciate you listening to me ramble on for a good while about YouTube and doing this map. And I hope to see you in the next Super Hostile or otherwise. So until then, guys, see you later and have a good day.